from Suma here. In the last video we talked about how can we start having a conversation with our vendors in order to get better terms or get a discount. And in that process we talked about putting things into perspective for them. We specifically talked about saying, let's aggregate the entire year and talk to them in terms of how much money we spent with them. That can definitely start a conversation around getting discounts or getting better payment terms, like a net 30, net 45, net 60. Now we can take this a step further by breaking things breaking them down. And so in order to do that, we can go to the invoices and grab the units that we purchased from the previous year and calculate the average price, right? With that, we could build something like this, where we can very easily see that whenever we bought larger quantities here, we got better prices, right? Now, what's the thinking around this? How can we use this in order to get better prices? Well, first of all, you could go to your vendor and tell them, hey, last year I bought 456 units of your product, and this coming year I anticipate that to grow by 20%. Now that percentage could be aligned with your sales, for example. Now with that information, your vendor, your supplier, could say, oh, that's interesting, because that puts you in a threshold of higher volume, you can get into discounts. But you can also suggest, hey, I would like to fix the prices throughout the year. Because if you see this chart right here that I prepared, our prices have been shifting quite a bit. And even though the average is calculated at $1,040 right here, I would like to fix that across the board. Now, how does that help you? Well, first of all, it allows you to have greater fidelity whenever you're making projections. You won't have variability in your unit economics month to month. You will know exactly what the price would be. And that allows you to prognosticate and calculate your cash flow with greater accuracy. Now, second of all, you can also secure your supply chain, because if you're providing the total units that you're going to get from them, you can talk to them and say, hey, I need this supply to happen at these specific rates on these specific months. Now, how does that help them and how does that help you? Well, it helps them because you become the perfect client. You have forecasted your demand. They can now calibrate their production in order to fulfill your demand on time. And it helps you because now you're de-risking your supply chain, as opposed to just grabbing the phone every time you need a part and calling them. You're doing this 1 year ahead of time. That, especially for critical parts, could be an essential addition to your day-to-day tasks in order to reduce the risk and secure supply for your production. Now, if we were to put everything together, like last video and this video, what we can say is something like, hey, I anticipate I'm gonna need 20% more units than last year. And last year I bought all of this. I would like to have a discount and some terms to pay you. I would also like to fix the price throughout the year. And my promise to you is that I will get all of these units. That is a win-win play for both sides, where you are going to gain fidelity, stable pricing, and potentially a discount. And your vendor is going to gain clarity. They're going to be able to plan better and fulfill your orders. I hope this serves you well. Again, this is David from Suma, wishing you a great day.